And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Saturday to you. How is everyone tonight? Miko is here and 5 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Miko says, hello, Super Antonio and Sadie. Hello, mods. Howdy, fellers. Greetings, Miko. Sadie is down here. There, she heard her name. We'll make her get up later. She's very tired and she had a bath. So she smells good and she is very soft. Tonight we are focused on the reverse Dapple Black Thoroughbred. Just going to show you a bunch of random videos. Here we are getting the Black Arabian. How is everyone? How are you? How was your week? How's your weekend doing? I went down a Johnny Depp rock star rabbit hole before I started this stream. It was pretty funny. I watched he did a cover of Whole Lotta Love. And it's easily, I mean, I'm sure he spent his own money and it's easily $1 million video. It's perfect production values. It starts out, he's driving down like a highway in New Mexico or Arizona, one of those single point highways, and single point perspective, and like it looks like a vintage Dodge Charger or something. No, it's like, and he's got his one hand on the steering wheel and his tattoos and all his accessories, and his mascara and eye makeup, and this buffalo comes walking by in slow motion. He just turns and looks at the buffalo, in the other lane. And so I'm thinking of the logistics of, well, he had to hire a buffalo and a buffalo handler, and they had to trailer the buffalo out there, all for this, they had to feed the buffalo. Probably there was some sort of buffalo insurance. And I was just thinking, very distracted by this buffalo that took 30 seconds of the video. Beautiful production, and honestly, I'd rather he spent his money on making stuff like this than buying another house or a $100,000 bottle of wine, or spending it on women who don't appreciate him that he insists on marrying. So, more power to him. And the irony is he came to Hollywood in the 80s to be a rock star. That's why he came here. And then he met Nicolas Cage. Sorry. Glynis here. Glynis Coleman is here. Channel member Glynis Coleman. Greetings, Glynis. Appreciate you being here. Just talking about Johnny Depp. So yeah, he wanted to be a rock star. And he fell into movies because of Nicolas Cage. He got him an audition for Nightmare on Elm Street. And I don't know if you've seen Johnny Depp from the 80s, but he was ridiculously handsome. I mean, he just had cheekbones for days, and he was like, there was no one like him. He deserved to be a movie star, and he had movie star good looks. And the urban legend is that Wes Craven, the director of Nightmare on Elm Street, had his picture, his one sheet, on his desk with a bunch of other teen boys, and his teen daughters, as teen daughters will do, were looking at these pictures of these incredibly handsome teen boys. And they found Johnny Depp, and they were like, "Daddy, pick him. Daddy, cast him." And Wes Craven, understanding his audience would be primarily teenagers and teen girls, cast Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street, and the rest is history. Greetings, David. David, welcome, friend. Note the chat's bigger. How's that working for you? How are you? Happy Saturday. For a brief moment, your picture was the thumbnail for the Sinister Sunday live stream, but we will be featuring your pictures in the live stream. I think you'll enjoy that. How are you? And how's your lovely wife? And what's for dinner? 9 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Happy Saturday. Miko says, hey, David and Glynis. And Glynis said hello to everyone. I had salmon teriyaki and, rice and broccoli, steamed broccoli. An old standard. I had that a lot. Yeah, so I was watching Johnny Depp. He's released a bunch of videos, a bunch of music videos. The name of his band is Hollywood Vampires. David says, she's great. Thank you for asking. And she says hello. Greetings, Mrs. David. Mrs. Mama David 1. We will be featuring Delphine LaLaurie for Sinister Sundays in a series I'm calling Haunted New Orleans. We'll also do Madame Laveau. And if the New Orleans series does well, there's so much content there that we can discuss. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I was working on that this morning. And then David, before the stream, I was watching a bunch of Johnny Depp rock and roll videos. Because he's released a bunch of very incredibly high production music videos on Glennis says, we went out for Chinese buffet. My grandson loves the place. I love buffets of all types, and certainly Chinese buffets I would love. I haven't been to one in a long time. David says, chicken salad tostadas. Well, so far, until we find out what Mama One had for dinner, made for dinner, the Chinese buffet wins. I'm sorry, David. But purely, I think, on content alone, on variety of content. That's what I love about buffets. But for a meal made with love and professional expertise, I'm sure your Chinese chicken salad tostadas would win. Until Mama One gets here. 10 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday. Yeah, so I was watching Johnny Depp and thinking about him. Hortus is here. Greetings, Hort. Hi, folks. Having a little green tea and some ice water. And just hanging out with the reverse Dapple Black Thoroughbred. David says, Hort, what'd you have for dinner? Jalapeno poppers on a spicy Italian sausage pizza. Which sounds good, except for the jalapeno poppers part. Hort says, pizza night. I do love pizza. I do love me a pizza. There's a pizza place near our apartment where I go to quite often. They have a pizza happy hour from 3 to 5, I think, where you can get 2 slices for $5 and 2 big slices, like they're like large pizza slices, and it's not I don't think they're making I think it's just leftover pizza from their lunch rush, because it's first come first serve and it's whatever they got. Glynis says, I think Johnny Depp was in Edward Scissorhands. Yes, he was, Glynis. He was Tim Burton's muse for a while. Tim Burton used him in a lot of his movies. So was one of my favorite horror actors, Vincent Price. I think that was his last role. It's time to do a routine camp inspection on Arthur's favorite bounty hunter camp. Eagles Pro 34 is here. Greetings, Eagles. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Good evening, sirs. Routine camp inspection. Glennis says, good movie. I haven't watched it in a few years. Yeah, I used to like Tim Burton. I don't, I think he's very commercialized, but I really like his early movies. I think he had a very unique style. But I think starting with, I would say, Planet of the Apes. I think his last good movie, ironically still with Johnny Depp, was Sleepy Hollow. Rage 10 is here and says, hi, everyone. Greetings, Rage. I'm sorry you're angry. You're so rageful. I wish your name was Friend 10 because rage sounds scary. Why are you raging? I don't care. I'm just teasing you, Rage 10. I mean, it seems like a very gamer username. And I'm sure you're friendly. I'm sure your friends call you Friend 10. Ice water. The nice thing about summertime and taking baths, or like giving her a bath, this one, is we don't have to like really worry about toweling her off. I mean, we can just give her a wipe down and then she just runs around and enjoys being cool and fancy free. Hortus says Rage 2 was a fun game. Let's look up Rage 2. There's Rage Against the Machine. Rage 2 on Steam, mature content description. Rage 2 is a first-person shooter in an open-world, post-apocalyptic setting. Players assume the role of Walker, one of the last survivors of an attack on the secluded enclave known as Vineland. Players have control over some of Walker's characteristics such as their gender, skills, and attire. Walker wields various firearms and tools to fight against enemies, including traditional guns like a shotgun and pistol, the boomerang like wing stick, and sci-fi weapons like the grab dart launcher. Just give us the gasoline. That's a Road Warrior reference. Sadie's up. Everybody say hi to Sadie. Say hi to David and Glynis and Eagles and Miko and Rage 10. Hort says, I'm playing Red Dead 2 right now, but because I'm getting the Legend of the East Satchel for my older brother. That's a very nice thing for you to do, Rage. You're being a good little brother. However, I would strongly prefer you to just give him hints and tips instead of handing him a fully equipped Arthur with the saddle. How's he going to learn to fish if you keep just giving him fish? Hortus says the wing stick was so fun. And Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. And Hort says the dart gun was really cool, too. Do you remember that razor boomerang thing that the little feral kid had in the Road Warrior? That he would catch it with like, I'm talking about the Mel Gibson Mad Max, with like this mitt that had chains on it to protect him, but it was like fully like sharp on one end. And then like one of Homunculus's minions was like, I'll get it, and chops off all his fingers. And it was a really funny scene. I suppose it's very violent. We were kind of looking for Ariel and her dad here. Dominic says, hello, everyone. Greetings, Dominic. How are you? Happy Saturday. Oh, I was going to make a short out of this. David says, there she is. Oh, yeah. There she is. Why is she sitting up? Why is she paying attention to the chat for once? What's that about? Rage 10 says, my brother said I'm a boring kid, and he says hunting is boring. And he said boring plus boring. You know, hunting is one of my favorite things to do in the game. And getting that satchel is also one of my favorite things to do. It's like sometimes if I have a free afternoon, I will happily just load up an early Arthur and get him his satchel. And David said hi to Dom. "15 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. We're still looking for Ariel and her dad. Spoiler alert, they are nowhere to be found." Hort, David, did you watch any or The Outsiders, or did you like completely forget about it? I finished season 1 after last night's stream, and yeah, there's a little bit of a supernatural vibe to it. The women are all like they're all kind of witchy, and they talk about how they derive power from the mountain. And they can kind of control the weather. But, you know, it might just be a coincidence. But they say that their power comes from their family, the clan, and the mountain doesn't come from guns. Hort said, I have not. David, it's on Tubi. But, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And the lady I like, the Australian, I'm spoiling it for everyone who hasn't seen it, she is now the leader of the clan. Which makes sense. It works, you know. Got my green tea. Now we are heading over Strawberry yonder to see if we can find the mean man with the Nakota. Spoiler alert, we will not find him either. Papa One is here and says, hey family, greetings Papa One. Happy Saturday. How are you, friend? Appreciate you being here. And Mama One is here. Everybody say hi to Mama One. Mama One says, hey guys. Mama One, I have to ask, what was your Saturday dinner? We're having a competition, and David made quesadillas. Glynis went to a Chinese buffet. So right now, Glynis is edging out purely on the variety of content that you get in a buffet. And also, you know, I do love Chinese food. David says, there he is and there she is. And Miko says, hello, Mama One and Papa One. Shout out to Miko, Herptile, and the Philippines. Rage says, Super Antonio, thank you for making a video on how to get a perfect panther pelt, because I'm hunting a panther at Catfish Jackson's. That's the place to do it. Throw down a deer at that intersection with a couple potent predator baits, and then you can stand on the rock and the panther can't get you, or you can do it on a horse. I just do it on a horse because it makes for a better video. Also, make a save in that location in case you don't get a 3-star, and then you can just reload that save. Glenna says, hello, Mama and Papa. And Mama One says, hey, David, hey, Miko. And Papa says to David, my brother, hope you are well. David says, I just use a deer and predator bait. Yeah, you don't need two predator baits. One will do, but potent predator baits. Cloudy says I have to start my Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough over again. My file got lost. I tried to play off a 1.0 version. Yeah, 1.0 is glitchy and will corrupt your files sometimes. Used to get a lot of angry comments about, like when I was making version 1.0 videos about people who are losing their golds and their progress. So, yeah, you have to be careful. But, these days, and usually the people on this channel are playing this game just for love of the game and not for achievements or gold or, like. And I assume all of you have already finished and gotten, done all the challenges and done everything you have. And you're just playing this game again and again because you love it. So David says hi to Cloudy with a cloud emoticon. Cloudy says hi back, and David says, yes, I am. Thank you. About how are you to someone. I'm not sure. Papa said hello to Glynis. So yeah, I was I know a lot of amateur, semi-pro, and professional musicians, and and a lot of my friends or social circle are failed rock stars, basically, as I am myself. And it was just fun to see Johnny Depp with like this $1 million production video, a complete vanity project, with just the best of everything. It was nice to see. It's like, and I've got friends who are like spending, like thousands of dollars of their own money in like one final bid at glory, making their own like videos. And I kind of want to like just, well, look what Johnny Depp's doing just to get him angry. It's like he can be at the pinnacle of success, but because he came to Hollywood to become a rock star and fell into acting and became, one of the most successful actors in the world. And now when he's like, I wouldn't say he's retired, but he can basically pick and choose any movie, any project he wants to. He's in, and he's like, I think he's like in his 60s, his early 60s. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to my rock star roots and make music videos. Cool. Okay. And as I said earlier in the chat, I would much rather have him spending his money on high production music videos starring himself rather than spending $100,000 on a bottle of wine and buying another house. It seems like a better use of his money, but that's just me. Rage 10 already killed one panther. Well done, Rage. Mama One says dinner tonight was a cubed steak, caramelized onion gravy made from roux of beef bone as the base, rice, sautéed mushrooms, cornbread, and a nice chocolate cake. And once again, Mama One takes the lead as she always does in the dinner competition, the Saturday Live dinner competition. Wow, so impressive. Your menus and your menu choices, and they're just like they work. Each component works, but they all work together. And the fact that it's all made homemade is just, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. Well, where I'd start, like, to make something like that is I'd buy a cake, or I'd buy like, it's like there's a bakery we go to that has like slices of cakes, so I could like get a slice. For example, for my birthday, I got a slice of pumpkin cheesecake because it's my birthday is in October, and so they were like showing out off the like Thanksgiving options, and so I got a slice of pumpkin cheesecake and a slice of carrot cake, and I just had a little bit of both, and because someone else had never had pumpkin cheesecake and loved it more than life itself. Rain Johnson says, I like the chocolate. Oh, the Dutch warm. Rain says, I like the Dutch warm blood in Red Dead Redemption 2. The chocolate roan Dutch warm blood. Well done, Rain. Technically, the best horse you can buy in Chapter 2. Greetings. Hop, hop. Mama One Sadie's here. Say hi to Mama One Sadie. She was under the desk. And say hi to Papa One. Claudia asked for your thoughts on the amber champagne poop emoticon. I prefer the silver Dapple. And Rach says, superantonio, where can you get a perfect raccoon pelt? You know where the sign is for Lemoyne? Welcome to Lemoyne, by that old mill. So there's raccoons will always cross that track by that sign where you enter the old mill, or where you enter Lemoyne by the train tracks. So you can find one there, and you can also find one slightly south of Emerald Ranch in a dry creek bed. And I'm amazed that I can just like pull those off the top of my head. But that's where I'd go. The other option is just to ride around at night and listen for one. They sound like it sounds like a chirp. They have like a chirpy sound, and then if you look around and activate Deadeye, you can pick up a trail of a raccoon really fast. But the stable location, I should make a short out of that. The stablest location is the Lemoyne sign, the Welcome to Lemoyne sign on the train tracks, where you can also find the ghost train. Mama One says, unfortunately, things aren't like back in the day. It can be a chore to make homemade food, but it is worth it. And hey, Sadie. Yeah, it's completely worth it. It's so much better than store-bought. But I don't even know where I'd start to make a chocolate cake. And I wouldn't. I'd use a mix. Papa One says, hey, Eagles, hope you're doing well. And hello to Sadie. And Papa One says, I've tried to tell Mama One to make a YouTube cooking channel. Yeah, I'd watch that. That'd be great. If you're shy, you don't even have to show your face. You can just like set the camera up or your phone over the stove and then just have like, your hands cooking stuff. Mama One says, growing up poor and having to hunt your dinner has its benefit. And David says they are popular cooking shows. Yeah, they are. I know. I used to watch one. It was a country cooking channel, and I liked her. She has over 100,000 subs, and and she set up her kitchen like a studio. It's like the camera is on a tripod in front of the island, and then she'll cook on the island on hot plates and stuff. But then it's like in the background she would put Bible verses. Which is fine, it's like I just thought I just found it charming and wholesome. I didn't find it offensive at all. But I thought that was nice. And then, and she would make, country biscuits and gravy and I don't know, stuff like that. And then there's Cowboy, I'm going to say Cowboy Curtis, but he was from Pee Wee Herman. But there's a cowboy cooking channel where he has a full on wagon. And he'll cook outdoors, and he has a dog too. And he'll make Dutch oven stuff. Rage 10 says, "Is the Raven Black Shire a good horse for Arthur?" It's a good horse in the sense that if you're sentimental, I mean, Hosea gives you that horse. It's technically the horse you're supposed to use in Chapter 2. It is slow. It's ponderously slow, but it's a very pretty horse. It's huge. I like Arthur that high up. He's very gentle. I think he'd be he's good for like daily driver, but he's pretty useless at combat and hunting. But if you want to, if you want to keep him just because Hosea gave him to you, I think that's a perfect and certainly a very respectable reason. And certainly if I had 10 slots, I'd keep him. Mama One says, Rage 10 is a great horse, but what matters is what you feel is a great horse. Horta says, Cowboy Kent Rollins. Is that the cook, the cowboy cook? Hort's always good at names. I really like Johnny Depp's like sartorial style, the way he dresses. I'd never do it, but I like it. I mean, way too many accessories, rings on every finger. I mean, the only accessories that I really like are like watches. And then like the scarves and the vest and the things hanging from his belt and and like a million bracelets and strings and like earrings and feathers and just I'm like, wow, it's got to take him like 30 minutes just to get out of the house, and the hat, and it's like all, and it's how do you even think up all that stuff? But it's how you express yourself, I guess. But I was watching a bunch of Johnny Depp music videos from his band Hollywood Vampires. And Hort, he was his band was playing the night River Phoenix died at the Viper Room, of which I believe he was a co-owner at the time. Cloudy says, there's a channel that cook lots of dishes that are in Red Dead 2, and Horta says, yup. And Hort says, binging with Bobish, recreated Pearson stew. Wow. And Papa One says, I've seen the after prison cooking show where he tells you how inmates cook food. Glad I never went to prison after watching that. Yeah, there was a fitness channel, Cali Muscle, I used to watch, where he would like talk about like how prison bodybuilders get their protein, and he would like make like just horrible tuna salad concoctions, with egg, just to get his protein, that like talking about how you get your protein in prison. Eagle says, is Sadie awake? Not really. She's under the desk. Mama One says, I'm so happy we are dedicating this episode to my beloved reverse Dapple black thoroughbred. Well, we're happy too, Mama One. But, practically speaking, I've got this external hard drive right here, which is like 4 terabytes. It's huge. And it's all horses. It's just horse after horse after horse, categorized, filed. It's one of the reasons why it's so easy for me to do these Saturday horse shows, is because I've got content on literally every horse on the game. Cloudy says, I still need to watch Dead Man. I heard so many good things about it. Yeah, that's also Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, before Captain Jack Sparrow, he was very experimental, and he would just make movies that interested him. And then Jack Sparrow just kind of locked him into that kind of role. But they paid him so much money, and it just elevated his career to like international status. I don't think pound for pound it was the best thing for him. I mean, to have so much money that you can spend $100,000 on a bottle of wine, and you can collect houses. But Ben says, salutations, greetings, Ben, and salutations to you as well. Happy Saturday. 19 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday. Mama One says, are you amazed that of everything in the game you fell in love with horses? I don't know what it is, but these horses just feel real. Yeah. No, I immediately fell in love. I wanted to play this game because of the open world. Because everyone was raving about how open the world was, and I was like, okay, let's see. Just how open is this world? And I just immediately fell in love with the horses. I can recall the moment in chapter 1 with Taima, where we're riding up to Sadie's ranch, and you have to press the triangle to hitch the horse. And for some reason, just that gesture and the fact that you had to hitch this horse, or they would, in theory, wander off, I just fell in love with the game. That was the moment. And Rach says, Ben says, happy Saturday to you all. And Rach says, the reason why I like Arthur with the Raven Black Shire with Arthur, because Dutch has a small albino Arabian, and Hosea has a silver medium-sized horse, and Arthur has a large-sized black horse. Well, he used to be the prize pony, and now he is a workhorse. And Ben says, for a feared gang leader, Dutch's little pony isn't doing him any favors. Well, it was a high-status horse. You know, it's Arabian. It's the only Arabian in the gang. And it's, yeah, it's a high-status horse. Eagles is going. Okay, Eagles, have a great weekend. Appreciate you being here, friend. Chocolate cake. Do you know what I had for dessert? Sadness. Well, no. I had a Pop-Tart I microwaved for 11 seconds. And it was really good. I was very happy. Wow, are you wearing that sailor suit? Yeah, I had teriyaki salmon with rice and broccoli, and a small bowl of miso soup, and a small salad, and then I had a Pop-Tart for dessert. I do like having a dessert, something sweet, just a little something. A little something, something. Cloudy says, I remember saying you should kill that horse. It's one of the O'Driscolls. She says in chapter 1 that she doesn't give a darn about that horse. Miko says, I find it somewhat strange that all these purebred horses are just running around in the wild. Well, that's one of the beauties of this game, Miko. Wild horses. And there's more post-game. Mom once says the Count fits Dutch because he is a charmer and a charismatic man. People tended to underestimate him. For example, Bronte thought they were just country fools. The Braithwaites thought they were trash. Yeah, Angelo Bronte was obsessed with bathing. What's that about? Rage 10 only has 2 more satchels to go. You'll do fine, Rage 10. Ben says, Sadie's quote about the Mahogany Bay is incorrect. You can find it there in the barn in online, hence making it not an O'Driscoll horse. And Mama One says, my favorite mission is the Braithwaite Mansion battle. That's a good one. Get out of here, you inbred trash. Who steals a boy? Mr. Maddie says, happy Saturday. Greetings, Mr. Maddie. Happy Saturday to you as well. Papa One says, Miko, Thoroughbred horses are found in the wild in real life. It's kind of like lions in a pack. Notice how you don't see a zebra in a lion pack. Sometimes it just depends a lot on horses started out as mix. We reloaded because it was raining and we needed some sunny skies. Papa One says, then through the years, they were tamed. Let's go find a panther. Spoiler alert, the panther will find us. I made a short of this. Rage 10 says, I need an iguana from the Iguana Island. Yes, you do, Rage 10. Use the varmint rifle or a small game arrow. I prefer the varmint rifle, personally. And a headshot, but get a headshot closer to the nose than the neck. In fact, headshots for iguanas and beavers pretty much go for a nose shot. Papa One says, my dad and me used to go catch wild horses like they do in Red Dead 1. We would get Mustangs, Nakotas, American quarter horses. Some were just plain feral, but one time I got a black horse. Miko says, that's interesting to know, to Papa One. Probably the best example I can think of are those Mustangs. And I can't think of a better use of dynamite arrows than to raid this little enclave. The abandoned church. Hort says, I always save these guys for the kill 4 with a single tomahawk challenge. I use the O'Driscoll camp for that. Ben says the varmint rifle is an unsung hero. It's a headshot beast in combat and gang hideouts. I have never used the varmint rifle in combat. I mean, it's better than nothing. Papa One says, like much, but she was pregnant, so we took her anyway, but she became an amazing horse. We ended up selling her and her baby, trained to be racehorses. And her baby trained to be racehorses. They ended up being so good, we got $10,000, I assume. Wow. More than the fancy Mustangs we had. Free Lancaster if you want one. Rage got his iguana pelt. Well done, Rage. What I like about those small pelts is you can just keep them in your satchel and you can move on and get whatever else you need. As long as you don't accidentally sell it to the trapper. Okay, now let's go get a panther. Spoiler alert, the panther will get us. Miko says, not bad for a free wild horse. Ben says, my dad's uncle had a wild and feral red Mustang named C4. Couldn't even get close to him or he would freak out and get angry. Beautiful horse, though. Yeah, Mama One, I know you love this horse, but this horse is pretty much useless in hunting, for me at least. I guarantee if we were on a brindle thoroughbred, we would be able to spawn a panther. Just by like riding up and down like this. Papa One says, we used to get horses all over the middle of the western United States. One of my few memories of my childhood was him and his friends drunk, capturing horses. Living the cowboy life, and now playing the cowboy game. I don't like hunting in that area because that's panther domain. And then I didn't know we could take a horse up there. Ben's watched The Assassination of Jesse James. Good movie, sad parts, but I loved the ending. And Rage 10 says, my cousin rode a horse before in Baguio in the Philippines. The horse got up and my cousin fell to the ground. He had broken bones in the back. I'm sorry to hear that, Rage 10. I made a short out of this one as well. The title of this short was When Arthur Listens to Abigail About Parking the Horse. Rage 10, are you from the Philippines? Shout out to the Philippines. Miko, you got a Philippine crew here tonight. What's that about? Papa One says, my dad was always able to catch horses and do anything no matter how drunk. He was never violent to women or kids. Now he could get mad at farmhands, especially if he liked you. And Glynis says, I have heard that was a good movie, haven't watched it yet. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Hort? Coward. The Assassination by the Coward Robert Ford, a 2007 film. Infamous and unpredictable, Jesse James, Brad Pitt, nicknamed the fastest gun in the West, plans his next big heist while he launches preemptive strikes against those looking to collect the reward the law has placed on his head. Casey Affleck was Robert Ford. Sam Rock, Jeremy Renner's in it. And Zoe Deschanel and Mary Louise Parker. I don't remember any of these people being in there. And Brooklyn Pruitt, she was in Yellowstone, I believe. No, she wasn't. Thinking of someone else. Brooklyn was in Man in the Mirror, the Michael Jackson story. She played Paris Jackson. Wow. Rage 10 says, yes, I think I'm the only Filipino fan of Super Antonio. No, you're in good company here tonight, Rage 10. Miko is also from the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. Yeah, my father was half Filipino. Mom one says, I don't ride too much when I hunt, I have a lot of Filipino cousins. Mama one says, I don't ride too much when I hunt. I like to be on the ground, but he always does good when I have hunted on horseback. I almost always hunt on horseback, but that might just be because I like making videos that way. Ben says, Jeremy Renner was Jesse's cousin named Woodhire. Jeremy Renner was in a horrific accident. I think he's okay now. But it was like a life-changing and life-threatening accident. Where is it? Yeah, on January 1, 2023, Renner was hospitalized after suffering blunt chest trauma and 38 broken bones. He saved his nephew from being run over a snowplow, but was hit himself by a snowcat weighing 14,000 pounds. He was released from the hospital and returned home. Doctors said that Renner's survival was probably aided by his health and fitness. Yeah, he was Hawkeye, and he is back. Is he making up movies? Yeah, he's making movies again. He was in Glass Onions and Wake Up Dead Man, an upcoming American mystery that is the third installment of Knives Out. But yeah, when that happened, it was like everyone was worried his career might be over. Where are we? Hortus says cinematography during pouring forth oil is a nod to that movie. Yes, it is indeed, Hort. Ben says, yup, Hort, fantastic scene in the film. And Alonzo Russ says, Super Antonio, what's going on? Greetings, Alonzo. Appreciate you being here. Also, the 20 viewers in the chat. Happy Saturday. We're just kind of hanging out with the reverse Dapple Black Thoroughbred. Seeing what happens. Hortus says, fell under and got run over by a big snowplow or something. Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for him. But apparently he's recovered. Bet it took a lot of physical therapy, though. He was crushed. And channel member Dan Konstantin Popescu says, I have to go to work. Have a blessed Sunday. You too, Dan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great Sunday. Shout out to channel member Dan CP. And Rage 10 says, it's fun listening to Super Antonio. It's like a podcast. And he is laughing out loud. Yeah, it's kind of like a podcast. I personally envision you having my videos on in the background as you're doing other stuff. You know, cleaning your room, playing video games. What else do you do? Cooking, Mama One. Yeah. Because that's how I watch or that's how I consume YouTube content. Is I usually have it on the background while I'm working on making videos for you. David says, see ya, Dan. And Ben says, I was talking to my uncle about the game. I'm always high honor, and asked him why his honor is always low. He said, sometimes I get the hankering for shooting people. Yeah, well, you know, this game and GTA 5 and probably 6 is just one of the games where you have the freedom to do that. But I find personally that is more of a new player thing. Is like, you know, just having the freedom to shoot anyone you want if you want to. It's like the first time I played Grand Theft Auto 5, I got bored and just started walking down the boardwalk punching people because that was more fun than actually doing the game. I should tell Serena to do that because it would make a funny video. Mama One says, Rage 10, Super Antonio does a live stream so unique. From the first times I commented, we felt like we were old friends. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Mama One. And here's the panther that we were looking at, and she found us. My broadcast style, if you could call it that, is to talk to you as if we are old friends. You know, it's like you can project that in your voice. If that makes any sense. It's like photographers will always tell you to like smile at the camera, and you know, it's like they'll say smile, but the good ones will tell you will give you motivation, like think of someone you love, think of, you know, a happy memory, you know, because you can project that, you know, you'll see that in your eyes. That's one of the reasons why actors get paid so much money, is because they're good at portraying emotions that might necessarily not be there, but that can be captured efficiently on film. But you can do the same thing with your voice. Also, Mama One, my mother was in broadcast, and she also did voiceover work for in PBS. This video is sponsored by viewers like you. So it's in my blood. It's in my blood. Papa One says, only thing I would change about this game is sometimes when you lasso a horse, it would be hilarious if the horse can drag you if you don't do it right. I've had that happen to me and seen it done. Yeah, that would be hilarious. You can kind of do that with a buffalo. If you lasso a buffalo, you'll run out of, you'll like deplete your stamina almost immediately, and you'll let go. It won't drag you. Same with a bull. So you can try that if you want, but they won't drag you, but you'll instantly lose all stamina. It's pretty funny. It's like John putting his foot in water, and that lightning bolt will just go red. Rage 10 says, Super Antonio fans are always the kindest people I've seen. Well, I appreciate you being here, Rage. We run a friendly channel over here, I like to think. And hopefully you can make some friends here, and you can hang out outside of the chat. You know, you can play on PlayStation, or like follow each other's channels, comment on everyone's videos, and make some friends. And we have no potent predator bait made or the ingredients. So we're not going to be able to summon that cougar again and get our revenge. Miko says, yes, no O'Driscolls are allowed in these here parts. We got some early on in the live streams before I made it members or subscribers only, when we were just kind of freeballing it. David says, all are welcome. Come into the light. Yes. Yes, it is a good honor live stream. And finally, we have a reversal of fortune. This is my favorite thing to do with this event. And Papa One says, Benz, it is the most dangerous things, but also one of the most hilarious, especially if it is your first time. Mama One was upset with Dad. She said it's not funny, and he said you should have seen it from our view. There's a scene in Indiana Jones, the first one, Temple of Doom, where he's being dragged by a Nazi Jeep. And that was a pretty typical, like, Hollywood cowboy move, where you'd be, like, dragged by a horse. And I believe that's what they were kind of referencing. George Lucas was trying to reference because his early movies were inspired by his childhood and his love of like 50s serials. So we put this on his horse, and she will ride off with her kidnapper. But now, she is the kidnapper. A reversal of fortune. She's going to take him back to the swamp. Yeah, I'm very interested in what AI is going to do in the future because all these NPCs are going to be controlled by AI, and they're going to auto-generate dialogue and actions, and it'll just fractal off. It's like they'll probably have like a set amount of commands of things that they're allowed to do to interact with the with the playable characters. Oh, and then this is the short I made. But it'll just, it will create an infinite amount of storylines and fractals and a uniqueness to to your playing, to your gameplay. I made a whole video on it, but it did horribly, so I took it down because it was embarrassing how bad it did. It got like 20 views in 8 hours. Not that I'm complaining. Papa One says, Mama One got dragged by a wild thoroughbred that bucked everyone. He was a hellraiser. She let the grip on the lasso go too loose, and he dragged her a few yards. That's one of my favorite movies, Hellraiser. Hort, have you seen Hellraiser? It's from like the 80s, 84 maybe. Hellraiser. (1987). And Glynis says, I got dragged by a heifer when I was in high school. Still have the scar. Well, this dog kind of drags me, or she wants to. She thinks in her mind she can. But really, all she can really do is pull my arm out of the socket. And that, my friends, is about all I have for you tonight. Me and Sadie really appreciate you being here. I hope you return tomorrow night for the Sinister Sunday stream, where we will be featuring Delphine Lalaurie in a series I'm calling Haunted New Orleans. Papa One says, have you decided next Wednesday's topic yet? Probably Amityville Horror, or perhaps more Haunted New Orleans. Shout out to the mods, Mama One, Papa One, O-Dog, who was sorely missed, David, Serena, who is MIA, but probably not feeling well. Channel members Glynis and Dan CP. Miko, shout out to the Philippines, Miko and Ridge 10. Appreciate all of you being here. Thanks for spending some time with us. Enjoy the rest of your evening.